you and through you.
Hi gang, how are you doing? Hello, how are you? Hope you're all good. Yes, it is the demo drop. How are you all? LXP, back once again. Mate, thank you. Thank you for last night as well. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Andrew Fetch, thank you for 20 months. And Adam Schofield, thank you for 6 months as well. Hi, everyone. I hope you've had a good Tuesday, whatever you've been up to. I've had a good one. Hi, Richie. Hi, System Failure. Hi, Ricky. Sorry for my 3 emails yesterday. I kept sending you the unmastered track. Okay, cool. I will look at the last one that you sent then. So just bear in mind we've got a bit of a backlog. We've got an extra long show tonight because I'm trying to get through the backlog because we've got like 3 or 4 weeks of like backlog, which isn't good. If anyone's ever been backed up before, it's not that good. Not if you've backed up 3 or 4 weeks. Jesus. Ah! Imagine that. Ah! Okay. Do you remember last week when I didn't have my vape and I didn't have a can of Monster? Today I'm doing both of those things to make up for not doing them last week. I proved I could do it. I didn't mean I was going to do it forever or not do it forever. Hi, Chris. Hi, everyone. So I hope you've had a good day today. I've had a good day. It's been an expensive day. I had to get part-worn tyres on my car. And what else did I need to... Oh, yeah, I went to the dentist as well. God, that's expensive. What? Yeah. Hi, Zarek. So, yeah, I am skint, but my car is roadworthy. And so is my mouth. Yay, roadworthy. Stop it. Oh, my God. I'm just going to get on with the show because I'm just talking shit right now. I don't understand what I'm saying. Hi, Katie Pops. Hi, Nikki. Yeah, the dentist is extreme. Oh, my God. Okay. So I went to the dentist at 2:30. 2:30. And so when I made this appointment, which was ages ago, when the lady said, "Oh, what time? Is 2:30 okay?" I was like, I nearly did it. You know, I nearly went, 2:30. But then I was like, oh no, I don't want to get cancelled, so I won't. 2:30, yeah. And then Guy this morning, he was like, "What time is your appointment?" I said 2:30. He was like, like 2:30. I was like, yes, exactly like that. But I thought, I bet I'm not the first person to say it. So, oh my goodness. Control 4. Thank you for gifting a tier 2 sub. Thank you. You absolute legend. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, mate. But yeah, I don't think everyone... I have to remember when we go out of the front door and out of this context, people might not find everything that funny. 2:30, man. What the fuck? Oh, I'll never get over that. I'll never get over how funny that is. Ever. Okay, we're starting off the show today with the amazing DJ Campbell, and this is Don't Bother Nobody. Here we go. Okay, so DJ Campbell there. You know, what can I say, really? I absolutely love DJ Campbell's stuff. Please go and give him a follow. The link is in the chat right now. Go and give him a follow, please, on SoundCloud. Just awesome. Just awesome. Completely awesome. I love the energy that's been put into these tracks. It's a skill. It's a skill to be able to do that and to keep the energy and keep the momentum and keep it interesting. Really, really good. Really, really well thought out and really well put together. So, yeah, Ashley, can you just send me a message next Tuesday and I will make sure that I bump it for next week for you. No worries. Yeah, if you just send me just remind me on Tuesday and we'll get that sorted for you. But yeah, not a lot else I can really say apart from just wow. And I'll be playing this a lot. So yeah, thank you very much, DJ Campbell, sending that one in. And guys, make sure you get following, please, at the link I've put there. Next up, we have got Mr. who has appeared on the show before. And this is called Want It Now.
Oh, tiptoe through the window, by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Tiptoe from the garden, by the garden, on the willow tree. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me.
There we go, Mr. Mister. Want it now. You said that this is out in a month's time or something. I really like it. I think sonically it's really interesting. There are a lot of dynamics in this, and that's interesting for something of this style of hard house, which is usually like quite heavy on like the clipping, the limiting, but you seem to have done a really good job of controlling the bottom end and also injecting a lot of movement and textures in the mids and the highs, which is really nice. It's really, really interesting, like the selection of the sounds as well. Yeah, it's not very linear, in terms of like the arrangement more than anything. Yeah, exactly. Like I liked where you brought in the acid line, and then it took us on another journey, you know, like in the kind of like the third half of it. It's really weird for me because this isn't a track that I would play in a DJ set, but I liked listening to it. Like I see for you, like the way that you're going with your music, you seem to be quite into or getting really into the sound design aspect of music production, and I see that being like a direction for you, because I don't think any of this is like the typical sounds that I usually hear in hard house. And I think at some point, with all due respect to hard house, you will probably grow out of it and try these kinds of techniques in other styles of music, or maybe even music for the moving image, and sound design itself. Because that's how I think of these sounds is, it's really, like something quite interesting and unique about them. So yeah, thank you for sending it in. Really enjoyed listening to that. And I loved the what's his name? Tiptoe in the Tulips. That guy. What was he called? Why am I thinking Tim Flowers? It wasn't Tim Flowers. Who the hell's Tim Flowers, brain? Tim Flowers is a goalkeeper from Blackburn Rovers. Why am I thinking it's him? No, come on. Do you know, this is dyslexia for you when you're a creative. My brain must just like fuse two things wrongly together. Yeah, he's an England goalkeeper. Yeah, it's not Tim Flowers. Who am I thinking of? It's not PewDiePie. What was his name? Tiptoe on the Tulips. He's got a name. Tiny Tim. Thank you. Oh, so I was half right. But it's not Tim Flowers. Okay, thank you, because I know now why my brain did that. Because tulips are flowers, but his name was Tim. This is right. I'm okay with this because this is what allows me to have creative ideas. But that's how my fucking brain works. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Do I try to analyze my dreams? Sometimes. Yeah, I do. Definitely. Yeah, I got Tim right. Yeah. And the fact there were flowers involved. But that's actually a good way to remember stuff, is to remember something attached to it. So, yeah. It's fine. I'm not mental. But yeah, I really enjoyed this song. This track. I'm not cool. I always call them songs. But yeah, I would really like to hear some different stuff from you. Different style, a different genre, even maybe something psytrancey, something like that. So I find sometimes dreams I had 5 to 10 years ago come true in the future. Possibly. I do know one thing though. I do know one thing though. Bitches, they come, they go. Saturday through Sunday, Monday through Sunday, yo. Maybe I'll love you one day. Maybe one day we'll grow. But till then, sit your drunk ass on that fucking runway, ho. I love that song as well. Have you heard the new one, Houdini? Is it Houdini? It is, yeah. I'm sure it is. Yeah. Shady's back, y'all. What were we talking about? I do know one thing though, but now I've forgotten it because my brain just decided we're gonna do an Eminem song. Yeah, but yeah, dreams. Yeah, maybe they do come true. Tim, yeah, stop it. We need to get through these things. Okay, let's just move on. It doesn't matter. It wasn't that important. Next one was, thank you again, Mr. Mister. I did really enjoy that. Next one is, where are we? Shad Lemon, and this is 3 to 25 government.
The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic process. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizen can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals, so that security and liberty may prosper together.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
More money, more power, more technology. It is a criminal enterprise.
Shadowy government with its own Air Force, its own Navy, its own fundraising mechanism, and the ability to pursue its own ideas of the national interest, and free from the law itself.
It is a criminal
There we go. Chad Lemon, who is a newbie to the show. Welcome in, Chad. Thank you very much for sending this in. I love the simplicity of this. I also love the 80s kind of synth wavy vibe to it. And I also love the kind of the message behind it. Like, I know people say, oh, keep politics out of music, but it's kind of not like that in a lot of ways, because music has always followed social, political, economical movements. You know, if we look through time, I think the only time that that's not really been a thing, but it kind of still is now, where things have moved along a bit. But usually, like, the way that we spread a message is definitely through music. So I kind of like the fact that there's this message in there as well. So because ultimately music's like stories. So you tell a story through the music, and if you've got a specific message, whatever that might be, it might be about being blue and having a blue house with a blue window, you know, or it might be, I don't know, I don't like Ronald Reagan. Whatever it is, yeah, it carries a message. Is what exactly? That's it. And that's it. That's okay. So I used to be one of those people that'd be like, oh yeah, music and politics shouldn't be mixed together. But when I started doing more research into this and doing my uni course and just looking back into my own past, of like in the 90s when we had all the rave culture, acid house and all that, you know, all that was pushed by social change. And we had that in the 60s and the 70s. With hippies and the mods and the rockers, you know, all that kind of thing. So I really do appreciate stuff that has like a hidden depth to it. My major was political science. Oh my God, wow. Is Ronald McDonald not the same as Ronald Reagan then? I'm guessing these are... well, I've never seen them in the same room. Exactly. Well... jury's out on that one. But yeah, Chad, thank you for sending this in, mate. I really, really liked it. And guys, could you please go and give Chad a follow on his SoundCloud? This is the link. They are both the same. They're both ruining kids' lives. Oh, brilliant. Okay, next up we have got Gary Murray, and this is Forgiven. we go. That is Forgiven by Gary Murray. I really like this one. Very, very smooth. Yeah, very well balanced. Really great uplifting trance. Yeah, it's lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Really, really nice chord progression. Because it always impresses me when I can't preempt where the progression's going. And I wasn't able to preempt it with the melody or the progression. And I loved it. I loved how emotive it was. Really, really nice. Really deep and meaningful. Soulful. Yeah, I loved it. Loved it. Thank you. And I feel very inspired now. Very, very inspired. So yeah, thank you for sending that in, Gary. And make sure, guys, you go and follow Gary. Go give him a little follow. Have a little listen. Because he's awesome. Thank you, mate. Next up, we have got Adam Schofield. And this is Changing Your Mind. There we go, Adam Schofield, Changing Your Mind. Great hard trance of this. Very European sounding. I mirrored the sentiment of the nod to the Scott Project kind of stuff. With those power leads. Yeah, really, really nice. Everything sounds very well balanced. Very energetic. I was going to say energetical then, but that's not a word. Very energetic. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great track. Really, really, really well put together. And I definitely got a dopamine hit out of it, which is good. And that, you know, when it's from just the first listen of a track as well, it's very important that the first listen makes you feel that way. Kicking the bass sounded strong. Yeah, I'd play it. Yeah, defo. I just want to say as well, someone asked about, where is it? Someone said a question about, I have a question. Here's a story. 10 years ago, I made an electro album, Sebastian, this is. In the process, I lost 8 of the 10 songs because my PC crashed. I have one of the songs which has a big problem. All the bass line and infra bass line hasn't been compressed. And this song is almost good, but so flat. If I sent you the song, could you give her some good basses? So, reading between the lines and what you've said there, I think I replied there. I said, you know, probably, and I wonder what other people think to this, because, you know, if you've been producing for a long time, my honest advice will be try not to improve something that you did 10 years ago, because ultimately the plugins and the workflow that you would have used at that time and the way you would have done things will quite possibly be quite outdated now anyway, especially if you're, you know, like not a professional music producer. So, you know, instead of trying to then get back into an old project or trying to lay on another layer of like kick drum or some other stuff on a project that you can only, you know, get into the audio renders or whatever it is, whatever the problem was. Sometimes it's just easy just to start again. Yeah, just put a line under it. Take on board what you learned back then. If there's anything you can salvage, if there was like a certain, I don't know, even like a MIDI pattern or even like a sound, that a one shot of something, then by all means, you know, like bounce that out and use that in a new project. But I'd say absolutely start again, because otherwise you will just complicate it for yourself. There'll be a lot of undoing stuff as well. I know if I go into my projects from 10 years ago, there's some weird stuff going on in the effects chains, in like how I routed stuff. Yeah, loads of stuff that I would never even do. Levels, everything is completely different. So I would say just start again from fresh. And yeah, because otherwise you can end up frustrating yourself. But yeah, I really did. Hi, DJ Donut. I really did enjoy this, Adam. Thank you so much for sending it in. I love this style for you. I think it suits you really well. And yeah, please keep on sending your music in, mate. Yeah, exactly. System failure. Yeah. Hopefully this gets played at HTE Weekender. Brilliant. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Well, it's been played on here now, so people are aware of it. And you guys make sure you go and follow Adam Schofield as well. Thank you, mate. Next up, we've got Adam Taylor and Alan James, and this is Return to Earth. Adam Taylor and Alan James, Return to Earth. I like the ideas in this track. I like the what I call trance and bounce, trunk or trounce, trunk. So it's donk and trance together. My only thing that's a technical thing that absolutely is stopping me from number one playing this song in a DJ set, and also potentially signing it to one of my labels, is the donk is ever so slightly out of tune by a few cents, because that donk is on a harmonic of the root note. It's not been tuned exactly perfectly. Sometimes this happens if it's a sample, like a donk sample, a one shot. Oh, are you in Texas, Chad? Oh yeah, well, we loved your song, by the way. We really did. I'll just go back and you might hear it, but it's mostly noticeable on the third bar, fourth bar. Hang on. Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth bars of the donk. Hang on. I'll play it near the end bit, because when it's in with all the other melody lines, you'll be able to hear it more. It just needs tuning up by a few cents, just a few cents on that donk. So it's something that, it's just something that might look correct, as in you might see that is on the correct note for that, for the scale that you're in. However, if it is from a sample, one shot, or even sometimes even if it's from a synth, it might not always be the correct note, because those donks are sometimes made on like a harmonic of the root note that they're supposed to be playing. But yeah, you can just, I'm probably, because I've been classically trained, like I can hear stuff like that quite a lot. And like I say, it's the difference between me playing it and not playing it. So, but this is again why it's really important to use our ears. But like, even saying that, you do have to develop being able to hear things. So yeah, that's all I would say is, this is what the show's about, though. It's because, having a few other people to listen over to stuff can help people to go, oh yeah, I can hear it now. But it's definitely something that's a technical thing. That's not me being like saying anything subjective. So I would just sort that out. It would be a very easy fix just to tune it up on the third and fourth and the sixth. Which one was it? No, third and fourth and seventh and eighth bars. Our brain is trained to prioritize eyes over ears. God, why? It's true though, isn't it? Next is Harrison J. What happened? I got given a home truth and I didn't like it. That's what happened. Harrison J. This is called Only For You. If you know, you know. Absolutely love this. Yeah. Oh. You always send me radio edits. I must remember that in future. Why have you sent me a radio edit? I want to play this in my sets. Please send me the full version. Gay House. Yes, Queen. Yeah, I love your Gay House. Well done, Harrison J. Yeah, again, very, very slick sounding music production skills. Love everything about it. Very summery tune. On beach with cocktails, as Nikki J said. Completely agree. Yeah, I loved it. I always love listening to your stuff. Guys, please get following Harrison J. Backdoor banger indeed, definitely. Yeah, I can see that being on a radio show, daytime TV, daytime radio, very commercial sounding, very Ibiza-esque. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, make sure you send it in, Martin. Thank you. Okay. And send me the full version, please. Thank you. Next up, we've got two fat DJs. That's not me being rude. It's fat with a PH. You have to make the full version. Oh, this is really interesting. Like, you're not the first person who I have been in the studio with that does things like that. That they don't make the full version in the project anymore. So they're not starting with like the kick and then bring the bass in and all the percussion and everything. Like starting it from like the breakdown. It's really weird, but I get it because that's what the labels want is, you know, for you to send in like the best bit, the bit that's going to be on Spotify or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to have to try that way of working, I think, and see. I might get more done. Breakdown. I find the breakdowns can be the hardest thing, Control 4. Yeah, I would agree. Sometimes I struggle get in there with them. But one thing I've found that helps is to get in the effects and maybe the snare rolls, the uplifters, those kind of things, because it kind of allows me to imagine what it's going to sound like when it's all together. I think I'm on a certain spectrum, so I have to get the ideas down. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how many, like, if they did like a survey of like how many creative people have autism or neuroatypical. Quite a lot, I think. Extended mixes aren't so extended anymore. Yeah, very true. All of us. There's a meme from, I think it's from the Undatables, and this is so me and Guy to a T. And he goes, "So Janet, I hear that we've both got autism, haven't we?" And she goes, "Yes. Well, that's very good, isn't it?" And then they walk off, and I'm like, oh my God, that's just like a conversation me and Guy have all the time. Anyone you know who isn't who aren't neurotypical? Anyone you know aren't neurotypical? I know people who probably would be known as being neurotypical. I thought I was neurotypical for a long time. I think do you know, this is the weird thing, right? Because I've been told now that I have dyslexia and I have ADHD. But then when I say, well, I've got on with it, they say, well, it's because you've masked all your life. And I'm like, oh, maybe I have. But then, like, is it masking? I guess it's how important those labels are for you. If it's been very difficult for you and those labels are helpful and they explain a lot for you and it's a relief, then I think that that's a good thing. I don't think it's healthy to just go, oh, well, I can't do anything about this, therefore I'm not going to try. I don't think that's a good mindset to have. I'm also quite careful about how I talk about it in front of my children, because I don't want the kids feeling limited in any respect. I've asked at school about them and they said that they don't see any of the markers for ADHD or, you know, any kind of learning issues. I always excelled at school until I just got bored and then I didn't try, but I still passed everything. I didn't do any revision, but I was very bored at school. So I don't really think school is really a good like marker or indication of intelligence in a lot of ways. I think also that modern life probably exacerbates a lot of this mental or neuroatypicalness. I think food has an awful lot to do with it. I think what you eat, what you ingest, what you put in your body will have a massive effect on your ability to regulate yourself and your emotions and your ability to use your brain in a good way. Yeah. Like, no, I don't even think it's to a certain extent. I think that it's quite a big part of it. Diet is everything starts in the gut. Remember, everything. But then I also think a lot of it can be psychosomatic, is it? Where you can be told that it's something and then that becomes like a belief system. But everyone's different. I don't know because I'm not an expert in it, so I don't have enough data on any of the stuff to know. But what I do think is that we can do a lot to improve our situations. So I know how much better I feel from, so since taking out bread from my diet, I only eat meat and vegetables and fruit now and nuts. And I still have a cheat day, like once every week or once every 2 weeks. I'll have a cheat day where I'll have curry or I'll have some chocolate. But I feel 100% better. Bazza says in capital letters, there's data starting to come out about hyper-processed food causing issues with the brain. This is so true. And I say this all, by the way, and I am drinking a can of an energy drink. It is 0 sugar, but it's still not good for me. So, we've all got things that we could improve on, obviously. But I think the point is just to limit the amount of crap that you're putting in your body. Have a few things. Treat yourself. Definitely. Fermented food. Yeah, there's a lot of data on fermented food. Yep. Everything in moderation's fine. Yeah, exactly. Just use common sense. But I also think that with certain stuff, like autism, it's kind of like, isn't there a type of human being that had autism? And those types of human beings were really, really, and still are really, really important for certain complex problem solving. So I think also that can actually be possibly a strain of human being. So it's not that it's like something wrong with you. So also, along with all of this, it's the way it's badged. It's the way that it's seemingly, oh, you're not normal. This is normal. What's that based on? That was based on doctors from like a few hundred years ago, or, maybe even only 50 years ago. And what they thought. We've got things like Asperger's, which is named after a doctor. So, like, what's that? What really is that? Because it was only named after the doctor who discovered it. What was that? So it's just like an indication. It's more just of like a signpost. So I don't think we should really be identified strongly by those things, But then again, like I said in the beginning, if it's helpful for you, then that's a great thing. If it can help to, connect some of the dots for you, I think that's definitely a helpful thing. And I think not only for you as the person, but your family. It can be really helpful for them not to realize that you literally just can't help being the way that you are. Yeah, but I think we need people who see the world in different ways. I think we need people who are complex problem solvers. I think we need people who have autism. And I think we need people who are left-brained. And I think we need people that are right-brained, kind of like right-wing, left-wing. I think we need creative people. And I think we also need action-orientated people. We all need each other. So, you shouldn't be like, oh, you're not normal. Although, who wants to be normal? Exactly. No, you are, Richie. You're brilliant. You should be on the stage. I think you're ace. But yeah, Harrison J, thank you so much for sending that in. It's all just perspective, isn't it? It's all subjective at the end of the day. I wonder if people in different languages in different countries have these kinds of conversations and how they see it. I know that in India, they would be they'd be called gods if you had a certain physical ailment. And some people who give up their entire life to meditate forever, they are held in the highest regard. So it all depends where you're from and your culture and how you've been brought up to believe the world is at the end of the day, which is why we shouldn't judge. There you go. Next up we have got, was it Two Fat DJs and Amen UK, and this is Passion 2024. There we go. Two Fat DJs and Amen UK. Passion 2024. Love it. At first, I thought that those the cowbell noises were just ever so slightly too high in the mix, but I quite liked it like that. It wouldn't be a way that I would usually mix down that type of percussion, but I liked it because it kind of like the groove of it kind of like rocked the track along kind of thing. And I think I'm going to take that into a project and just see, because it was unusually high in pitch. Yeah, I think it sounded like a cowbell. But I liked it. And maybe if it was a little bit lower in the mix, it might just end up getting lost. So I quite liked it. If I'm going to do that, I might try it maybe with a bit of dynamic EQ, just so it can like just pop its head up kind of thing. But I liked it. I liked that aspect of it. And it just sounded very clean and very up to date. Did it, Bazza? There you go. Well, then it's motion carried. It helped Bazza to finish his room off. So there you go. That's what you want in a track. Yeah, I loved it. Thank you very, very much, Two Fat DJs, for sending that in. Guys, make sure you go and follow on SoundCloud, please. Okay, next up we have got System Failure, Nikki J, and this is A Positive Drug Story.
Today, a young man on acid realized that all matter is merely energy condensed to its low vibration, that we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. There is no such thing as death. Life is only a dream, and we're the imagination of ourselves. And we're the imagination of ourselves. is only a dream.
Okay, there we go. System failure, Nikki J, a positive drug story. I know you've just said in the chat that you're still learning, but you're already at a really good stage, an important stage in your music production journey. There are a lot of really good moments in this track. It's 9 minutes and 10 seconds long, so it definitely could do with being a little bit. Definitely doesn't need that long to tell this story. And I like what you've got going on with that riff, and I liked the continuation of the riff where it then has like a little moment where there's a bit more movement and it goes off and does its own thing for a bit. And then there's also that part where you do a second bass progression, like the traditional, a very well-known bass progression, da, 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 which it works really well because it kind of separates to the sections there and gives like another moment, another phase of this track. Something about either in the mix down or like, this is being really picky, like a couple of other people have said in the chat, this has been really picky. So one, I think the vocal in parts when the melody's playing behind it, when that riff's playing behind, that vocal needs to come up a touch more, maybe just by like half a dB, half a dB, not a lot, just to cut through a little bit. And then I thought that the riff, the melody, the riff was a little bit not loud enough for the kick and some of the percussion. So maybe just go and try a new mix down. I also thought that some of the percussion sounded quite static. So you might want to try a little bit of either a little bit of velocity movement in the hi-hats. Maybe try, I do a tiny bit of panning in my rides and in my hi-hats sometimes, maybe even a bit of dynamic EQ, just to give a little bit of movement, because it was feeling a little bit static with everything else there. But it could just be that they are ever so slightly too high in the mix. So it might be that as well. But these are nitpicking things that will probably be subjective in a lot of ways, I guess. But yeah, it just needs a few tweaks, like Adam said. But like, you've got the hard bit done, which is the ideas, and the riff is great. I just feel like this is such a strong idea, and the track's got a really strong identity, that it's worth doing right. It's worth like going back, even if it means starting with a different kick and, you know, trying to do it in a completely different way. I think that it's worth doing it. Or you don't need to do that at all. It's just a subjective opinion. Yeah, it could even be worth getting someone to help, you know, on an engineering basis. Like, it wouldn't even take that long in terms of like having like a really, really well-versed engineer to take what's happened here and like give it a proper polished finish, possibly. But if you want to do it yourself and learn in the process, which ultimately is the best way to do, one, you could do that having an engineer, because you just watch and ask questions while they're doing it. Or two, just try again. Just take the MIDI patterns, take the main sounds, everything else, and just try a different bass line, a different kick, or just trying to mix down. Yeah. So it's just, this is sometimes it can be quite a grueling part of music production, where you do all right and you've had a few tracks that you were quite happy with, and then you get a really good idea and you just ever so slightly not ready for the idea to be perfect, but it's so worth waiting and just trying stuff, A-Bing stuff, rendering stuff, listening, giving it a week away from it, go back, listen again, objectively. It's and a lot of it's very psychological, a lot of it's big head fuck, really. Quite honestly, this is like we always say, this is kind of like a support group for people in dysfunctional relationships with their DAW. There we go. Help. Well done, mate. Well done. Honestly, I can't wait to hear this when you're happy with it. Send it over again to me when you're happy with it, and I want to have a listen to it, because I know what this is like. I know what this is like. So thank you for sending it in. Amber Door, Agony Aunt, I love that. Next up, we have got Subtract Garden, and this is The Nature. Yeah, I really, really like this track. Subtract Garden, the Nature. Please, please go and give him a follow. He's only got 14 followers right now, which is mental considering how well put together this track is. I love it. I love it. It's textured, it's emotive, it's got expression in it without needing to have a vocal slapped over the top. Really interesting arrangement. And it grows, it builds, and it evolves. Yeah, it has a lot of melody. It's just really nice. Like all of the finer details in this sounds very, very well put together. I like the use of the effects, the reverb, reverse reverbs, and how every sound transitions and fits so well with each other. Very, very good. Yeah, very, very top notch. Like a glove. Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah. Really, really, really good. Make sure you get following, gang. This is what I love about this show, because if you are exposing yourself to different types of music, because we all get like stuck in our roots, we all, like, if we're DJs, we'll play certain styles of music. But I think one thing about this show is it exposes us to a lot of variety and a lot of different methods, ideas, which inspires us in our own studio sessions. I definitely feel like that. Control 4, yeah, we play everything. There's no stipulation on genre. Just needs to be of a playable, listenable level. That's it. It doesn't matter what genre it is. We've had every single genre on this show. Yeah, do it. Make it. So next we've got Jonah D, and this is Embrace Conga. So that's Jonah D. Embrace Conga. I absolutely adore this track. Yeah, I'm not going to say change anything. But there was some great bits of advice in the chat. I like it because it's so different. Like, it's really simple, but the ideas work really well. I love the gated riff. I love that change up with it as well, where it's digga 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 digga, then it goes to just little changes like that. That's all you need to keep changing the pace, keeping up the energy, using the same idea but in a slightly different way, not having to add more and more and more channels and noises and stuff. Yeah, it makes a great load of difference. The other notable thing about this is that the bass line doesn't change at all, which I kind of like it because it's got that relentless forward motion. So if it was me, I might have tried doing a bit of a bass progression at some point in the track, but I know how quickly that can actually lose that momentum and that power as well. So I quite liked it having that kind of techno-esque, keeping it all on that one level. Yeah, I loved it. Loved it. Really, really nice track. Make sure you go and follow, guys. Next, we've got Moggy. My Moggy. This is Dimension Overture Trance Mix. So Moggy says, I took a break from making music for a little while. Never really finished anything. Yeah, I know that one, mate. Lost motivation again. Yeah, because you're not finishing anything. That's why. And I understand that because I've been there myself. But I decided to try and do a remix for a track on Label Radar. I found a remix competition for a track called Dimension Overture. I do feel a bit like a cheat by just using MIDI files. You're not cheating. But I can never come up with good chord progressions and melody. Well, you're not going to get any better until you work with MIDI files, and then you can kind of like scan what is on there, you know, and then like look at that and then take that on board for your next track. So yeah, that's not cheating. But as this is a remix, I can get away with it more. I'm not sure if I'll ever send it into the competition, as I normally do the remix comps for fun. And I feel like they are looking for established artists with the following. They ask for social links, etc. The mixing and mastering could probably do with some work, but hopefully it's good enough to play on the demo drop. Yes, it is. I say mastering, it's really just a Maximus plugin on the master bus with a clean master preset. But without it, everything feels so flat. Okay, so that is the message that Moggy put in here, and this is his remix for this remix competition, Dimension Overture. Okay, there we go. Dimension Overture, Trance Remix, Moggy's remix there. I think the sound selection for this is perfect. So that's like one aspect done and dusted. Arrangement is really good. It's only 6-7 minutes long. I think that's fine. Do you know what I think the issue is? What did I write? I've been writing some notes. I think this just requires either I would go back, I would change that kick out, definitely. Then the kick's a little bit boxy. Do not be afraid of going back in, saving what you've got, obviously, then going back in and just changing out the kick and the bass and try a different kick with an offbeat bass or maybe even a runner bass. Sometimes just by doing that, just by scrapping that, it will give the track a whole new like dimension and identity. I think that also what you said about it sounding flat, I think there might be a lack of dynamics and movement. So I would go in with a bit more automation, especially on those ARPs and stuff, when they are needing to be sat back and your top layer comes in. You could definitely do with having some like high pass, low pass filters transitioning in, maybe even a phaser, that kind of thing, just to add a bit of excitement to the ears. Even like delay, having delay coming in and out on sections, I think would be really nice. I think that's literally all that's missing, and maybe a few effects, sort of like the risers, white noise stuff. Impacts, booms, that kind of thing. Just that's just like the finishing, the bells and the whistles kind of stuff. That's all really that is needed. But I think that you know the sounds that you're using, that sound selection's great, and I think it will sound really good when it's finished. I also think that when you're getting all the remix parts and doing these remix competitions and not necessarily doing it to enter into the remix itself, I think that's great. I think that's a really good idea to do that, Moggy, because you are finishing a project and you're learning stuff while doing that with studio quality remix parts. So it's it's a really good idea that you're doing that, and I think that you should be applauded for finding a way through your block, through your loss of motivation, because I know how debilitating that can be, and I am just really fucking proud of you, mate, and I want you to take all this as being a real positive and send me in some more stuff and keep doing these getting these remix packs, and that goes for all of you. If you're not sure where to start, or an actual start to finish project from scratch, it seems a little bit daunting, go and get yourself some remix parts and start from that place. Hello to Filthy Kitten. How are you doing, darling? Good to see you here. Control 4 says, I had a 7-year block and demo drop literally opened my stream. I feel the same, you know. I had a few years block myself. And I think I know that having this show makes us accountable, because we're checking in with each other and we've got something to work towards and a reason, you know, to finish stuff, get it on here, and see what happens. Because, you know, that's I think it is very helpful. But yeah, I really like this, mate. I think it's worth getting it to a. I think it's worth just going back in and changing that kick out and maybe the bass, or it might just even need just a new kick. I think that the kick was just a little bit boxy, which is an easy. I have problems with my kicks all the time, and I can't even hear it until I go and send what I've made in my studio into Guy's studio, and I'll go, can you just have a quick listen to this? And he'll go, oh, it's a bit boxy, and I'm like, what? And then I'll go back. And then I'll change something and I'll be like, oh, I can hear it now. Or even just pushing a bell curve EQ into a part of that kick, and you'll hear when it locks in. There's a really good, and I am plugging Guy, but there's a good reason for that. There's a really good tutorial in Guy's Patreon right now, which is about phase alignment with your kick and your bass, and how to get them like properly connecting and locking in with each other. So, you know, always consider joining Guy's Patreon. I think it's only like £6 or something, but it's so worth it. Yeah, PHA does it. Yeah, that's not free anymore apparently, because I was going to get that. I'm using a different one now. But yeah, who taught Guyver to produce? We used to have like this thing where I used to pretend that I taught him how to produce, which obviously I didn't. He taught himself. Yeah. Grassroots OG. He's never had any like physical. He's never had any educational, you know, like in like that kind of a institutional education or anything like that. He's just learned, self-taught. And in a lot of ways that can be one of the best ways, as long as you're thorough with it. He's very thorough. He's a proper autistic when it comes to what he knows. He goes deep on so many levels of stuff. Like it's a joy to be able to just go and ask him questions on music production. But even saying that, I have a very, very different way of working to he does. And he doesn't use Ableton, for example. I use Ableton as well as FL Studio. We both have quite very, very different ways of working, but it doesn't mean that he can't help me with my stuff, because he can just listen to my stuff and, you know, give me advice and hear things that my ear might not be trained to hear yet. Guy uses FL Studio. Yeah. Yeah, he's amazing. But it's just from doing it a lot. He's very, very well versed in it. But yeah, it's everyone that you can get some kind of advice from or learn their method of doing it. Don't just go with one person. No, like study a few different people, and just take on board what resonates with you as well. It's kind of like with self-help books or gurus or religion, you know, belief systems. You don't have to take everything a person says as being gospel or do it exactly the same way they do it. Just take the stuff that resonates with you, take that on board, and you can disregard anything else, because everyone's got different ways of working. So yeah, well, Boise, Ableton's probably an easier workflow, but then again, they all kind of do the same thing. But you can't discount Ableton for being like just amazing, like the Max for Live stuff. I think it's really good for certain stuff, and people should definitely give it a go. So yeah, you do. You learn a lot by seeing how others work. I remember years ago watching DJs when I was first started to DJ. I would just study them. I would not be dancing. I would just be watching them, like just seeing what they were doing, and then I would take that back and you know, copy it and then put my thing on it. But that's the way to do it. That is the way to do it. So. But yeah, a lot of it's practice, and you then not only growing your ear, so to speak, but also understanding yourself on a philosophical level, on a self-aware level, investing too much time on a sound if it's not working, being able to get rid of that, being able to come away from an idea if it's not working, being able to let an idea work, let it cook, give it time, instead of discounting it straight away because it might be a bit too weird. You know, a lot of it is about being okay with sounding shit for a really long time, you know, and so that humbles you. So there's so many different aspects to music production, and getting the right mentors is important. And if they're honest with you, because I do see some of them, especially on like Instagram, and they're like, Do you want to get the best kick and bass? Don't do this like everyone else does. Do it like this. And it's so like, I think it's counterproductive because it all depends on what the person wants to get from what they're making. Like, are they making something in a live environment? Are they doing everything in a DAW? You know, there's loads of different things that you should and shouldn't do. Like, one of them is hard EQing out everything underneath like 40 hertz or 60 hertz and stuff. Like, sometimes that can be a bad thing to do because it can introduce phase or phasing issues. So maybe sometimes just using a shelf EQ would be better than like hard walling, brick walling like stuff. You know, there's, but then those things will work in certain instances, or if you just quickly want to get a sound in a certain area. So, you know, it's stuff will be said, and you've got to probably, you're best off just going with people that you like their music, because then it will probably be the best advice for you. Adam has hit the nail on the head there. The only way to make a pro track is to put Sausage Fattener on the master at 100%. There you go. You shouldn't have told them. Shh. And then the smile. 6 sausage fatteners. Oh, and I'm spitting now. So excited. I am spitting everywhere. And Sound Goodizer. Don't forget Sound Goodizer. Yep. That's all you need. That's all you need. And Gross Beat. Next up we have got Chris Nikon and Leave Your Earth Behind. Okay, Chris, this is the master one that you've just sent over as well.
The flat horizon that we've evolved with has been a metaphor for the infinite. That we've evolved with has been a metaphor for the infinite. It wasn't until we really left Earth, got above the atmosphere.
There we go. Chris Nikon, Leave Your Earth Behind. Yeah, I really like it. Like, there's a lot of great textures and layers in this. If I was being really picky though, like, and this is just me being really picky, it's not even a problem really, but I feel like the bass could just be, that offbeat bass could just be a little bit more punchy. Just a tiny little bit. But I know this is a master now, so like you're done with it, and I think it's great as a finished track. Yeah. I'd say move on to the next tune now. But I really, really like this. I like the psytrance-ness of it, and I like the like I said, the textures, the weird stuff, the effects. Really, really nice, really strong track. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think so, Chris. I think this is a well-finished track now, and it's time to now take on board whatever it is that you learned in this project into the next one. Yeah, brilliant. Oh, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Something that Guy always tells me to do as well, he says, when you've had that feeling that you're really happy with the track that you've made, like, really go into that feeling. Like, don't just like move on straight away. Like, be really proud of it and just nurture that feeling and enjoy that feeling. You know, give yourself credit when you should do, when credit's due, because it will really help you when you start to get dismayed and the next project might have something really difficult that you're struggling with. And it gets frustrating again because you know it's always up and down, but really, really immerse yourself in that feeling of, you know, gratitude for yourself for getting this far in your musical journey. So yeah, well done. Hi Mufasa. Hi. Good day, or should I say. Yeah, well done, mate. Next up we've got Rend and No More Turning Back. Did I give I haven't given out your SoundCloud, I don't think, Chris. Hang on. Guys, make sure you go and follow Chris on SoundCloud. There you go. And now we've got Rend, No More Turning Back.
Ready?
There we go. Ren's No More Turning Back. Such a great tune. I love it. I love it. Really, really clean production. Really excited me. It's got loads of energy in it. I will definitely be playing this a lot. Yeah. I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Guys, please go and follow Ren's on SoundCloud. Oh, Sam, I'm really happy for you, mate. Yeah, I really like that. Really, really strong tune. I recognise the riff and that, but I don't know where from. But whatever's been used from like another track, I just liked it. Yeah, I recognise it, but I don't know where from. But it's obviously something that's been revamped in a really good way, and I love it. DJ Campbell had a similar one on Cheeky. Oh, okay, cool. No, it's nice. Really, really nice. I love that kind of... I like the clap as well. It's reminded me to maybe start using compression a bit more, because I hardly ever use any compression on anything. But what I think now is, like, if I want to get like things sounding like that, maybe I should start to, use compression a little bit. Mainly on my claps, I think I'm going to start using it on. Just to get things sounding like a bit more punchy. So, yeah. Use clipping? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'm going to give it a go anyway, because it's just something that I don't use unless I absolutely have to. But I'm going to see what it sounds like. Ask Guy what he thinks of clipping. I will. Sometimes it's best that I don't ask him for what I do, though, because the stuff that I make now, like, I really like making offbeat, like bouncy, hard housey stuff, and it's not really something that he makes a lot of the time. So a lot of the time when I'm asking him stuff in context of the kind of stuff I make, he's really like reserved on what he's going to say, because the things that he says is more designed for his type of music production. But I will ask him. But a lot of the time what happens now is I'll ask him, but then I'll just do it anyway, which I think is really important to do, because there's no point just taking what someone says for gospel, even if you trust what they say, because you want to know. If you've got an inquiring mind, you want to know why. And you want to know why in context of what you've been trying to achieve in the studio, because then definitively you'll know yes or no whether or not to use X, Y, or Z. Really, really important. Takes all of the guesswork out. And the less guesswork that you've got, the better with music production, especially when you get further on down the line, because if you're not sure where you've made a mistake, it's a bit like in Sudoku. If you start on Sudoku, if you like made a guess at one or two of the numbers and then you start filling in the rest, this is a really good analogy that I've just pulled out of nowhere. Then it is more than likely going to end up being incorrect in a lot of areas. But if you, or chess, whatever it is, but if you know every single move that you've made and the reasons behind every single move that you've made, you can confidently move to the next part of that project in confidence, because you'll know. And you'll also know how to bring it back again if you do make a mistake. So, yeah. It's about the only really profound thing I'm going to say today. Yes. Okay, next up we've got People Like Us, and this is Retired. I know I used to love Sudoku. I think what happened was I did one which was really difficult, and I was like, fuck this. Don't like it anyway. Because it got too difficult. Okay, here we go. People Like Us, and this is Retired.
What do you do? I have spent years in construction. I've recently retired.
You are retired?
Yes. And now,
physical or mental?
no, not retired. I don't work anymore. Stop working.
It is a very good you now retired. I wish you.
So there we go. That is People Like Us and Retired, which has got a Borat sample in it. Just want to say a massive thank you for the raid to DJ and Delana. How are you doing? Thank you so much. I hope you had a really, really good stream. And welcome raiders coming in. This is the demo drop. We do this every single Tuesday where we listen to each other's music that they've made and give advice and just help other like-minded artists to get a foot up the ladder in the music industry, and yeah, just geek out about plugins and all kinds of things. So thank you so much, and I hope you had a really, really good stream. Thank you so much, mate. But yeah, so that was People Like Us and Retired. Again, I really, really love People Like Us's style. All of his stuff has got like his personality. I would like to have heard, this is just one technical thing about this track, I would have liked to have heard the vocal a lot higher. Now, this is kind of an issue when you're taking vocal from a documentary or a film or whatever. A lot of the time there's going to be a lot of peaks and troughs naturally in vocals, so there's going to be a lot of difference in between volume levels. So a lot of the time going in with some manual volume automation is going to be really helpful to get things level before maybe trying any compressing or anything like that to balance it. So yeah, it can be quite finicky, but it can be the difference between not hearing what's going on and being able to hear it. So yeah, I think that should have definitely, the vocal should be lifted up a little bit. But yeah, I still didn't take away from the enjoyment. I loved it. So yeah. Parov Stella, Cat Groove. I will do. I will have a listen to that. Thank you, Kelly. Kelly, the Musical Archive. So yeah, thank you everyone. It's been an amazing show again. I really appreciate you all. We're going to go and see Malin now because Malin's DJing. He's going to be playing some trance. It's my day off tomorrow. I'll probably see you on Thursday because I've got a new toy. I've got a chaos pad now. Control 4, thank you so much for gifting another tier 2 sub. May, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I have a chaos pad KP3 to put on the Miss Dots. Thank you for the gifted sub. Wow. Thank you, guys. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you so much. You do have chaos, Kelly. You are chaos. Oh my God, you got a hype train. Thank you. Oh. Thank you. And Dykesy, thank you very much for subscribing. That's so kind of you. I really, 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 really appreciate everyone that is subscribed to this channel. It means a lot. It also means that I get a 60-40 split for my income. And Twitch is like one of my main incomes for me and my family. So it's a massive, massive deal for any one of you that views, and it's extremely important that anyone, for anyone that is subscribed, that's really, really helpful for me to continue doing these shows. So thank you very, very much indeed. Yeah, I'm really, really happy to be continuing to do these shows, and I know you guys get a lot out of it, as I do as well, so thank you. I'm just going to do the raid now. So yeah, have a nice rest of your evening, gang. I'm going to go and cuddle my daughter now. She's had a hard day today. So yeah, teenage worries and teenage stresses. So we're going to go and give her a big cuddle now. Yeah, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. It's just sister stuff, falling out. You know what it's like. So she's just having this bit of space from her sister today. So, yeah, nothing a good cuddle and slagging off her sister won't fix. She'll be fine. Just one of those things. She just needs to get it out of her system, I think. So, yeah, it's all good. But, yeah. Oh, no, Kelly, send me a message and let me know what's going on with that. Yeah, it's all part of parenthood at the end of the day, so... We're here for her at the end of the day. We're here for both of them. They're separated at the moment. One is at her nan's and the other one's back here again today. So I think just having a bit of space, it's difficult. It's difficult being a twin. They live with each other. They spend all the day at school together with each other. So these things are going to happen. They get on a lot, so it's fine. But yeah. Oh dear, Control 4, that's no good. But yeah, enjoy the stream, and I will enjoy the raid, and I will see you on Thursday or Friday. Love you.